Hi everyone, in this video I wanted to readdress my last video, which I'm showing right here, where I covered my keybinds and my glimpse about a month ago, coming back to sort of Naraka Bladepoint. This is where I had left off, and this was probably from like about 2021, sort of when the game came out, that sort of era, and it's what worked then, and I'm sure it still works now, and particularly if you're a beginner, it's probably one of the safest builds, because looking at this one here, this was my original video. I had grappling distance plus 25, grappling speed, and I think I had some other dodge things going on here. Since then, I played around with a lot of the glimpse, and I've come up with a different build. And I've seen this old video gain some views, and I'm sort of a bit annoyed about it because I don't actually run that anymore. So in this video, I wanted to show what I do use in this current season, middle of like 2023. It's a little bit different, so I thought it was quite important to cover it. I can't remember what these look like and what this means, but I thought I'd show that there. I found a fantastic post on Reddit where someone had done basically the hard work for me, really, and this helped me a lot. And this is actually 2 years ago, so again, this was probably when the game came out. But there you go. It shows a picture here of basically, as it says, 6 ways to dodge 3 times in a row. Now, in the original video I had, I actually think it was possible to dodge about 4 times with what I had set up, with how many dodge characteristics and things I had, just everything, just plus energy and dodge. But I believe the one I ended up going with was something like this middle one here. Oh no way, it would have been 6 and 2. Anyway, I'll show. We'll go into the game and I'll show, and I'll probably do a demonstration, do a quick bottle round or something. But this is obviously many different ways you can build your characters to do that. And if I actually go into mine,
My aim is true.
I actually haven't unlocked. It's easier. There we go. I actually haven't unlocked any different sets for any of my characters yet. I think there's one for Karima I accidentally unlocked. I kind of unlocked it hoping it would give you the second slot for everybody, and it doesn't. It gives you this. It just gives you the slot for one person. But if I look what we've got here, reduce the amount of energy required to dodge, and I've got that too, and increases the amount of rage you generate when dealing damage to enemies. And then if I come over here, I've got 2 restore rage at a more rapid speed and control the battle with your ultimate, and at the end here, increase the cooldown recovery rate of skills. So massively different to what I had before. I think my skill cooldown before was like 30 odd seconds or something. So with like Jotunheim, for example, I would get her skill like once in a fight. Whereas this build I'm showing here, I get it like 3 or 4 times in a fight, and I can usually end it pretty quickly. And if it's more than one person, I usually play trios with this sort of build. I had played around with this, say, the last few weeks, and this has been really fun, and I'm going to stick with going forward. I'm sure if you wanted to tune it for, say, someone like Viper, with a bit more energy or a bit more rage, because you can use her ultimate a lot more. I've seen some people have obviously a full rage build and they can just spam their ult immediately. But what have we got? Increase with maximum energy, enabling you to dodge more in combat. We've got that 6 times. And then just two of the basically the dodge cost, and for the reds, which I believe it was with that graph, it was these 6 and these 2 to dodge 3 times. And so in theory you could change these out, and I did try a third rage restore. I did try that for a while. I just didn't like it. I found myself, when I like my healers like zipping, I found myself getting like cornered, just because you're missing that final dodge when you really need it, or if you're like me, who kind of used to it. But this has been a solid build, so I really recommend this. This is definitely a better build for more of an aggressive play style. I think the initial grappling is if you're in sort of being able to like basically fleet from combat quite easily. Whereas if there was obviously no grappling distance, you've got a shorter grapple, you're relying on your dodge skills and maneuverability and map knowledge a lot more. Whereas obviously the last build was probably helpful if you don't know the map so well. You can just literally, throw your grappling hook and get away quite far at a good distance and put some space between you and whoever's attacking you. So enough waffle. Well, we got 4 minutes, that's okay. We'll do a quick game here. So this is the bot mode on these, and not too much of a challenge. It's nice if you wanted to do some farming for quests and things of that nature. Character cultivation, like I've still got Valda Sui. When I last played, she was one of the recent characters I unlocked, so I haven't really got many of the quests or anything unlocked for. Have a look. Ooh. What we got to do? Equip 3 epic or better weapons. Yeah, we should be able to do that. And stuff particularly for the battle pass coins there. It's just easy experience. Sometimes I have done initially, if you do some of the quests in a game, it can be unfortunate. You just get taken out very early. First customer.
Cry havoc and let loose the sea dogs of war.
I'm not really used to FLAVOUR. I just kind of use her like I would use Yoto, really.
Where's your filthy soil, landlubber?
Oh, musket. Do I need the musket or is it the bow? Oh, it's the bow. Okay. Fine. That.
Armor restored. Set sail.
Try and use the skills a bit more than I normally do because it's got a quick cooldown. Which is the nice thing about this build is you can, I could kind of say using my sort of experience from Genshin that you just want your skills
Anchors away.
as quick as possible, ideally. So this build focuses on that side of things and being able to use the characters' skills as much as possible. Bounty over here. Oh, blue dagger. Yeah, I'll take that.
Told you, this is my world. You're just sinking.
I mean, I could have done quick play, but that's fine. Don't want to wait around for a few minutes. Matchmaking on EU servers isn't that quick, unfortunately. You can wait sometimes a while. There's some good stuff over here, actually. I don't normally come over here. The dagger. I quite like the sword in a minute. We could do a
The
bag.
shadow will shortly begin
We
to
got
spread.
monies.
Assemble a boarding party. Hasten yonder.
I'll try and use the bow. You can try
The
and use it a bit, I
shadow
suppose.
begins.
Avast! There's loot to be found.
But he was still full armor upon defeating an enemy. That sounds so broken. Nice. It's gonna stay on it.
This is my world. You're just
I feel like they've changed the bots a little bit because I felt like even in this mode they were they didn't used to throw out blues, and I've taken a little bit of a step back for a few weeks since this new update, and coming back to it, it feels a little bit. There's been some subtle changes, like when you get disarmed and your secondary weapon, you used to have to come in here and select it, which usually got you killed, or you would have to run away and hopefully equip it and then rejoin the fight. But what they seem to have done now is that your character seems to automatically equip it. I'm 99% sure that's new. They didn't used to do that, which should be a big turnaround in a lot of fights, because kind of going into your bag when you're in the middle of a fight is kind of a death sentence, really. Oh wait, no, do I have to hit it? Oh, okay. I'm not paying attention. Fine, we need epic stuff. We haven't actually found any purple stuff. But I found like the shorter grappling hook distance took me a little bit to get used to, but it's not going to be for everybody that likes this game, but for me, like, I'm used to it now. I think what I've noticed, it's about 10 meters. It seems to be the default, whereas I think that other setup I had probably went for about 20, maybe 15, 20 meters. It's quite far. You could literally like grapple hook, possibly even like up there, for example. It would be quite far. I think I have to. I think there's a quest for those. I'm not too sure. Let's see if I get this guy, but I thought for the longest time you had to charge up the bow to get more damage.
Free.
You do. I don't really. There's single shot in. It still does pretty good damage. No. No. Okay.
Told you, this is my world. You're just sinking.
Just kind of expect them to. Usually in those scenarios, someone's weak. That's when people panic charge, and you can't expect bots to be quite realistic. Not obviously human. You can be surprised. I've definitely encountered some people and thought, oh, this is blatantly a real player, and it turns out it's actually a robot. Oh, okay, well, got me fooled. This is like the OG. It's like the OG whale skin, this is. Yeah, the game definitely feels in a better state this update. I don't know what they've done. I couldn't even usually counter these easy bots. It wasn't even possible. You would think it'd be good practice, but they weren't even. They just wouldn't usually blue attack. It would be very odd. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we still need to acquire epic stuff. Did he actually have anything we can? So we had a crossbow. I did something. I don't think the soul jades count. Press. That's complete. We put more free epic better weapons and armors. I've got gold. Ah, right, okay, well that was the final piece then. Okay, nice. There you go. Where is it? Where's this bell? Let's see, let's use this. Oh, I thought I'd counter. If I dodged, I'd have probably hit that counter, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of forget about the skills. I'm used to playing like zip. Oh, that really did buff my entire armor. There's quite a few of these soul jades I'm not actually used to, and it's definitely, I've definitely been killed by people using them. That's for sure, because that's just broken. That's so broken. I've definitely been in fights where like I've killed someone and instantly they've had their like armor restored, and I've just been going like, what the fuck? So it's probably something like this. Pretty OP. I do think you shouldn't really be able to block. I mean, maybe, I guess, charge attacks should block projectiles.
Right through the tallywhacker.
But I don't know if normal attacks, if you're just normal attacking it, can you get a charge attack at least? Oh, that's random.
Told you, this is my world. You're just sinking it. Praise colors. Let them know fear.
I'm not really too sure on her else. I'm just using the default Valda, and it works really well for me. I think part of this update she's had some changes to her secondary ultimate, but I haven't looked at it yet. It might be better. I might check it out at some point. Yeah, we'll take that. This isn't my ideal bag. I usually need that. And I guess if this is healing me as well, that's pretty shadow. My ideal bag's something like that, really. At the end game, 4 of these, armor, and that's kind of what I go for. It works well for me. I want to try and play a bit more ranked this season. I haven't actually played too much ranked, usually because it's a shit fest. Unfortunately, it's full of laggy players using the ping abuse. But
boarding party.
I don't know. I think I usually stick to quick play trios. That's what I usually do. That's been really good. If anything, I've had better games than that than I've had just like all round in terms of mixed skill when I last played. Ranked can just be it's not even kind of a fair fight, I guess. It's, you know, it feels incredibly unbalanced. People, you're countering the blue attack and it still hits you while you counter. There's loads of like the ping difference really messes up like the mechanics of the game to what you're seeing, to whatever the server's seeing, to then what the laggy player's doing. It's obviously an advantage, which is a shame. You got another. Let's do this. Pass behind. Don't know if the Realm of Yang thing's been changed. I haven't tried that yet. Not played in a few weeks. Let's do this. But this works well. I use this Glyph setup on Kurumi, Zipping, currently Valda, Viper Ning. Who else do I use? I guess Ferrier Shen as well a bit. Matari. I mainly stick with the healers though, and Yoto as well. It's mainly, I guess, aimed at my Yoto, and then I've just kind of used it for everybody. And you could argue like Zipping wants more energy, but even like the rage build's been good for her because it means I can spam ult and you get that really quite quickly early game. And I don't know, it's definitely felt a lot better than my last video. And as I said at the beginning, I'm kind of annoyed my last video. It's still a good build. There's nothing wrong with it. I still did really well with that, particularly starting out. But now that I know the map, now that I know the game, you know, the characters are a bit more diverse. I've had some other experience with other games. I think like a bit more of an aggressive playstyle like this has definitely been probably more fun to play, and it's reinforced me. You've actually got your skill. Quite often, like in combat, you don't have to, right, I've used that, now I've got to wait 30 seconds to get that again. So you kind of just forget about that being like a security option. You just got to leave it. Whereas with something like this, you can be quite secure that between like a 1v1 in trios, for example, you can get your skill in pretty much both fights, and that's nice. Feels that you got a lot more control on what's going on.
There's loot to be found.
And obviously survivability and everything else, so this helps you, please leave a like. It's good fun either way. And obviously a mix of both can probably work quite well as well. I have to go back. Let's go over here. 6 people left. This is a nice skin. I did wonder how they would do this. It instantly made me think of Yolan from Genshin. I think that's what they've Definitely been inspired from. And I quite like the other Untamed Treasure skin they had, but I got kind of nothing from my drops on those, so I am just autopiloting with this longsword. So not my usual choice, because most people early game it would be, but unless you got a gold one or something, more experienced players will shut down someone with a longsword unless you can really just get someone tripping with it, which is probably where its strongest point is, that you can just, even a good player, you can catch people tripping with it just by having some weird timing with it. Speaking of actually, I've got a katana. Should we mix up? Should we use it? Let's use my ult. Wow, the hitbox on this is kind of mad. Put his sword away. Let's give up. Oh, Firefly, I need those. Yeah, they're kind of a bit of a pain to find when you need them. I think the big tip with those is just stop looking for them and you'll find them. I think it's one of those items. Oh.
Anchors away.
She does.
The first piercing's free.
Nice. There's a...
The shadow spreads.
Oh, as if I should have bubbled her then. Could have probably got that nice charge attack off and made that a lot cleaner, but I'm not so used to it yet.
Like the sea at noon. Ooh, right through the tallywhacker.
Oh, I should. Can I do that? Does that counter it? It looked like it did. That's the problem with this game. There's so many variables. I don't know who's best counter who, and the problem is there's not enough coverage of creators and other things in the game that people really know this stuff either. So anyway, try this glimpse out. If this helps you, please leave a like and thank you very much for watching. Easy one, isn't it, really? 31k, god damn. Definitely does Yotoheim damage, that's for sure.